I'm your host, MrElephant. Today we are going to run another Line of Heroes tournament games. So we're going to begin by observing some teams that have not played a game yet. So that includes some games from Team 1 and some games from the second group, Group B. So we're going to observe the Megalomaniacs and Cascading Nightmare. Then we're going to go on to Group B, and we're going to do Shadow Inquisitors versus the Goddess of War. So these are the teams that we're going to be kind of focusing on, and we may be able to go on to another group here, but we're kind of focusing on teams that have not played a game yet. So let's go ahead and go on to our random team generator and see who will be participating together right now. So we've got Captain and Soldier and Sergeant and Squire. Captain and Soldier. So we go back onto our list. So that's Captain and Soldier. That's Brightspark and SuperVillain. And UnfairSteel and Nightmare 4th. So those are the first two that we'll be playing. So let's go ahead and pull up our game. So hopefully we can hide this. Okay. Oh, and I need to turn on my Twitch on my other screen. Okay, so that should be fine. So hello, Rondi. Let's go ahead and get the teams set up. So as you noticed, I have added back in all my other AIs. That's because when I'm not focused on the tournament, I do play some other games. So I can't wait for the tournament to be over just for to play those other games. So okay, Brightspark and SuperVillain, and we said the other one was UnfairSteel and Nightmare 4th. So we're going to increase this to 4. Brightspark is going to be playing Byzantine. SuperVillain is going to be playing Sicilian. UnfairSteel will be playing Slavs. Nightmare 4th will be playing Viking. Ooh. On that note, we are good to go. Let's go ahead and begin. So Rondi, thank you for joining. Bandit will not be here, unfortunately, today, or this coming week, probably. He had some, I guess, issues coming up that are currently going on in his life, so say a couple of prayers for him, and hope that he's doing okay. He was able to run a couple games this past weekend. Maybe he will be back on Saturday or Sunday. We don't know. So Brightspark's teammate, the SuperVillain, Bye, Elias. Now in 2v2 combat, Brightspark and SuperVillain should be able to take this set. These are two AIs that kind of like to focus on single combat. On the other team, we've got UnfairSteel by UnfairestEel, a veteran scripter back in the day. Not to be taken lightly. Scripted up to Age of Forgotten era for HD, he mainly focused on user patch scripting. Finally, we have Nightmare 4th. The creator of Nightmare 4th, as I have brought up many times in the past, was Jawa, who started in the early days of scripting, even back in AOK era. This version of Nightmare 4th was made around 2019 for HD. And you know Nightmare 4th personally, Arandi, from the Davis Cup 7. Overlay is still outdated. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can get that fixed. Nightmare 4th was the AI that used to boom in your pocket position during Davis Cup 7. Kind of that booming AI that hit in the back till he attacked late game. Are you saying that you aren't too impressed by that AI, Rondi? By the face that you're making inside the chat? Both archery ranges going up for Brightspark. Going up to Feudal Age for UnfairSteel. Rondi. Oh. skirmishers coming out for villain right now, SuperVillain. Nightmare 4th up into Feudal Age, just waiting for UnfairSteel. It looks like Brightspark and SuperVillain are going to double team Nightmare 4th. He probably will not have an opportunity to hide in the background inside this stuff. He is creating some Feudal Age army. So close, getting that watchtower up. Watchtower is pretty important. Let's go check on UnfairSteel to see what he's doing. He's kind of hiding himself. He's glad that he's not Nightmare 4th, I think, right now. He's garrisoning some of his troops. 5 scouts garrison, creating 2 more. Villain going for archers right now. Brightspark seems to be storing up food. What is Villain doing in Brightspark's face? He's just looking around, I think. Just kind of scouting. More scouts coming out for UnfairSteel. Both AIs are kind of trapping Nightmare 4th in his base. Just doing the walk around maneuver. Question will be, can UnfairSteel make it up into Castle Age before the enemies start focusing on him instead? Yep. It all matters down to whether UnfairSteel will make it into Castle Age or not. He kind of has a defensive military that he keeps on training. But having over 33 troops now is probably a clear indication he should start focusing on getting into Castle Age. Bright Spark is in Castle Age and is starting to create rams. So that will mean that Nightmare 4th will go down shortly. Probably should hold back his army until he reaches Castle Age, or at least clicks up. He's starting to research Castle Age now, so this should still give him some time to make the proper calls in Castle Age, or dig himself out of a hole. Watchtower has done a pretty good job keeping the enemies at bay, in addition to the town center. Watchtower goes down. Battering rams are coming in. I'm going to finish off Nightmare 4th. What will he decide to do at this point? Going to research light cav, in addition to gold shaft mining and bow saw. Starting to go for knights in addition to the light cav. John coming up for Corleone, SuperVillain. TC goes down for Nightmare. That can only mean one thing, that he is in his last minute of life. Nightmare 4th resigns. Is up to his ally at this point. Plenty of time for that second TC to go up for UnfairSteel. He's even thinking about going for a third TC, which he will need if he wants to win. A lot of enemy military here. SuperVillain is still inside Feudal Age. Let's go ahead and check out, see if he's close to researching Castle Age, which he is not. Second stage armor upgrade for cavalry. Score goes way up for UnfairSteel. Check on Brightspark over here. See what he's up to. He's putting his military in the back of the base for some reason. Researching the pikeman upgrade. UnfairSteel is going for SuperVillain's base. SuperVillain is very much in trouble. It looks like he's dead. It's Brightspark versus UnfairSteel now at this time. TC goes down for SuperVillain. I do not know if he has resigned rules or not. Can UnfairSteel play Mongols or Franks? UnfairSteel can play any civ up to the Age of Empires Forgotten era, which is beginning HD era. Brightspark going for the attack. He does have some unique units as well that he threw in there. UnfairSteel bringing back his military from SuperVillain's base. They will interact with Brightspark's troops. Confrontation. Promi, do you know why UnfairSteel actually left the community in the end? Because he seemed like he was a pretty passionate developer for the community. So, I'm just curious what your opinion was on why he left in the end. Might be beneficial to reach out to UnfairestEel if you, since I know that you have his email account, maybe it would be beneficial to reach out to them again and see if he would be willing to come back. So. Maybe he would be interested in working on another AI. That'd be kind of cool, since he was obviously very skilled at what he did. UnfairSteel is now going for crossbowmen. Brightspark hiding his units in the back, going for camels, supplemented by knights. He's upgrading those battering rams. Lumber camp is right next to the wood line. Nice to see. Brightspark is not as close to the top max as UnfairSteel is. He is going for the Hussar right now, so that's good to see. Any support would be great. With Halberdier and crop rotation. Another nice castle position coming in for UnfairSteel. Let's go check on Brightspark again. Going for chemistry with more unique units. Getting some armor upgrades. He doesn't have any castles, but he is going for another town center. Oh, he does have a castle on his left over here. And conscription as well. We have an attack possibly coming in from UnfairSteel. What is he doing? He's going for the mining camp, appears. So this must be TSA. Two-man saw coming out. Getting some trebuchets. UnfairSteel looking strong here. Who has the relics? Good question, Rondi. 4 relics for UnfairSteel. And there's your last one. I think I would rather be in UnfairSteel's position right now. Oh, that onager looked like he was going to attack his own men. That hurt. Another one. Good shots right there. Appeared like that onager did some serious damage. Spark is on a roll right now. He has a many attack force. Oh, nice shot, Trebuchet. At Pop Max again for UnfairSteel. About 60 military for Brightspark. He has some villagers that are just sitting around, or what appears to be so. They were tasked for about a couple of seconds. Brightspark is good at keeping his army together, so that is one of the advantages. What we're seeing inside this game is his military seems to be working kind of together rather than spreading themselves thin. Oh, good point. Thank you. Sometimes when people spam the chat, I turn down my sound. So if we hear an AI spam the chat, we're going to have to turn that down. Also, it makes the game a lot louder. We'll turn that down. Horde castles coming in from UnfairSteel. How many sets do I plan to stream today? I plan on streaming this one and one more set with the Fireball versus Fireball's team, the Shadow Inquisitors, versus Team 6, the Goddess of War. Hopefully we can get through 6 games. In 4 hours. Our first one's pretty intense here though, so who knows? May not have enough time to do this, but they all are this intense. Seems that UnfairSteel is slowly coming into Brightspark's base. It's nice to see those unique units from UnfairSteel. I like to see that. Brightspark trying to get out of his base. Halberdiers are trying to push them back in. There aren't very many of them right now. Villagers are still dying. Another forward castle coming up from UnfairSteel. Not looking good. Siege ramp out for UnfairSteel. It's another clear indication of what's to come. Let's check on Brightspark's population, down to 37 villagers. This is over. We're going to wait until we see the push though from UnfairSteel to wrap things up here. Unique unit upgrade. More skirms. Just waiting for the finishing attack command from UnfairSteel is building more castles back at his base. Another castle coming up. 2 castles coming up. Looking pretty deadly here. Going in for the kill. Price spark down to 16 pop. 0 on food, 0 on gold, 1 on wood. I think we can call this. Alright, that is going to be 1 victory for Cascading Nightmare Team 4. Good job to all players, but especially UnfairSteel and Nightmare 4. So now comes the second game of the set, Phyrexx User Patch and Cascade versus Bolt and Turbine. And Aztec. Bolt is playing Vietnamese. Turbine is playing Koreans. Korean seems to be a fairly popular civ right now. Let us begin. So after this game comes the 4v4 of the set. Group BrightSpark and SuperVillain will have a second opportunity to defeat their rivals in this series. Bolt AI made by Bandit, the same creator as BrightSpark. Remember, they were paired together, so by random chance, so that is kind of neat. Turbine AI, this was made by Koteti back inside the early AOC era. Bandit has recently said that he has now fallen in love with this early AOC AI, so I find that kind of funny. Phyrexx user patch. So this extended version of the original AI was supplemented by Esty. The original AI was made, I'm not quite sure on the details of this one, who was the original owner's name, I mean. It's made by Robink, that's right, Robink. And another one of my personal favorites is Cascade. This AI won the second cat tournament back very early AOK era, but not on the same website. This was a Japanese tournament back in the day. This AI won that tournament, which is neat to see, and we're glad to have it inside this tournament as well. Early 2000/2001, closer to 2000, I think. And of course, if you are interested in learning about additional custom scripts, please check out the custom Discord that we've set up for AI scripting that is in the link at the link in the description inside, where you can type in that URL in red at the bottom of the screen. There are additional custom scripts at forums.aiscripters.com. The community has existed for around 20 to 25 years. So a lot of nice scripts there for users to download. And not just on land maps, they have all different types of settings. Well, there are AIs of many different sorts of natures. Some play on water, some play on forest nothing. So a lot of good opportunities for a user to check out. If you are curious about AI scripting in general, there are many different tutorials and tools available for new users. So those are included in the websites listed as well. Bolt is the first AI to make it into Feudal Age with 22 villagers. His companion is currently researching Feudal Age. The enemy is currently researching Feudal Age. Phyrexx user patch is still slightly behind, has not started on researching Feudal Age, but he has a couple more villagers than his rivals too. Oh, I confused Phyrexx user patch with Cascade, so sorry. Cascade was the AI that is slightly behind at the moment. There is opportunity for him to come back, and he is not too far behind. So. Phyrexx user patch appears to want to take down those forward towers by Bolt. One tower goes down. Phyrexx user patch is retreating. Cascade putting up a tower to defend his ally. He appears to be going to attack those towers of bolts. Cascade is not going to be afraid of those towers or retreating from them because he does not have any user patch. He's going to send those men-at-arms just to take them down. No retreating. Bolt sending in more villagers. He's towers look like they're going to be unsuccessful. While villagers dying. Bolt is suiciding villagers at the moment. He sent all of his villagers basically into a build those watchtowers. Let's go check out to see how Turbine is doing. He is currently researching Castle Age. He's starting to create trade cards, which some may say is a little bit early. Hello, Night Bandit. Hope your day's going well. Forward watchtower coming in from Cascade. Yes, Bolt is officially the sergeant that was listed inside. Cascade is pushing him back inside his base a little bit. Bolt is building a castle. Let's go check on Phyrexx user patch to see how close he is to researching Castle Age. He is very close to hitting it. Seems oddly familiar to the game that we saw with Karon the other day, with the towers that are placed defensively in the allied base. Almost as if they're detecting forward watchtowers, so these watchtowers are being placed right outside their range. These are in fact forward watchtowers here, so they're actually a couple of tiles away from the other forward watchtowers that are built over here, which is interesting to see. Forward watchtower comes up from Cascade. No, forward watchtower, outpost. Sorry. Are my wrong terms there? Phyrexx user patch coming in for the attack onto Turbine. You might have seen a card right there. Not certain about that. Cascade hits Castle Age. It's going for Long Swordsman and Crossbow. Phyrexx user patch continuing on with the attack. Cascade placing down a forward castle onto Turbine. If the castle goes up, it will be a bad day for Turbine. Sneaky forward castles are always difficult for an AOC AI or earlier to counter. Some rain coming out from Phyrexx user patch. Castle does go up. The ram is drawn to the castle. Appears that Turbine is crying out for help. Oh, Petard coming in. Self-destructs. Phyrexx user patch going up into Imperial Age and going for an attack onto Volt with those battering rams. He has a train going. Eagles coming in from Cascade. Phyrexx user patch hits Imperial Age. Appears to be going for the attack again. Going for the Pikeman upgrade. And Elite Skirmisher. Yes, Arondi. Turbine has created several Petards. Another petard coming in from Cascade. He blew up that farm. Not sure if it was worth it. He did do it. Heavy cavalry archer coming in from Phyrexx patch. Cascade hits Imperial Age. Another forward castle coming out. Forward castle might be going down here, but it's already done enough damage for a lifetime. Units are trying to save the castle. They did save it. Barely. Bolt is basically dead at this point. He has one TC in the corner. Oh, I guess he has two. Oh, something broke. Let's see what it was. And it looks like Turbine's about to go down too. Siege rams coming in from Phyrexx user patch. We're going to go up to 4.0 now. So this is another win for Cascading Nightmare. Team Cascading Nightmare. Now we go on to the 4v4. Turbine did seem to get a lot of kills there. Alright, 4v4 time. What everyone has been looking forward to MrElephant sharing his screen again and choosing out who is going to be Pocket 1 and Pocket 2. But before I do that, let's get the other players set up. We've got Brightspark, we'll go in order. Brightspark, Bolt, we have the SuperVillain, finally we have Turbine, as the Squire. For the other team, we have UnfairSteel, Phyrexx user patch. We have Nightmare 4th and Cascade. Now for the Civs. Vikings, Italians. Goths and Koreans. For the other team, we have Franks, Huns, Vikings. And Chinese for Cascade. The flanks on the two teams are the SuperVillain and Turbine. On team number 2, the flanks are UnfairSteel and Cascade. So it's time for me to share my screen. Google Chrome, here we go. Alright. Pocket 1, Pocket 2, rerun. So we've got Pocket 2 and then Pocket 1. So Pocket 2 is Bolt, and Brightspark, and the other team. Pocket 2 is Nightmare 4th, and Phyrexx user patch. Time to switch back our screens. Make sure the score is updated. It is. Alright, I think that we're good to go. Double check the civs. Vikings, Italians, Goths, Koreans, Franks, Huns, Vikings, Chinese. Let's do this. Will Brightspark and the team get a win here, or will they be down 3-0? This is a very important game for them. Being down 3 games is never a good thing if you want to make it to the second round. Bolt going for his lumber camp before his mill. SuperVillain already with his first boar. UnfairSteel is facing down Turbine, but Turbine has Brightspark as its pocket. We have Nightmare 4th in pocket of UnfairSteel. That means that you can expect to see a boom back there. And we also have Phyrexx user patch, which is also very strong AI inside pocket. Both of Bandit's AIs are inside pocket. Flanks will very much be in trouble from Team Cascading Nightmare, so UnfairSteel and Cascade will be very much under heavy attack. But we are very much looking at Nightmare 4th and Phyrexx user patch to see if they can carry this team to victory. Can the boomers in the pockets actually take this team to victory? That's the question. SuperVillain appears to be scouting his allies' base. He may be going over to UnfairSteel. Bright Spark hits Feudal Age. All Team 1 is currently inside Feudal Age. Megalomaniacs. No one has no lumber camp. This lumber camp's over here, Rondi. All AIs are now inside Feudal Age. SuperVillain hiding behind a tree line over here. Is SuperVillain stuck? Not looking good for SuperVillain at the moment. What is his battle strategy? Hiding behind a tree line won't get you very far. Especially when your enemy is UnfairSteel. He's already creating knights. This would not be the time to attack with man-at-arms. It's time to retreat them. Cascade is going for the attack onto SuperVillain. UnfairSteel is going for the attack onto some random villagers it sees right outside his town. The enemy did allow him to age up in the Castle Age, so that is going to be an issue. SuperVillain is still hiding back here. A lot of pressure coming on the Turbine. Villagers were being pushed forward, probably because of TSA. So they counter those towers. Not an ideal situation. Surprised we're seeing that from UnfairSteel. Cascade is still attacking SuperVillain. Forward watchtower coming in from Cascade. Actually, he's kind of tower rushing him. Team Cascading Nightmare seems to be fairly strong today. Castle coming up to protect SuperVillain from Bolt. Well, the castle is being placed by Bolt to protect from Cascade. Things are not looking good. Let's go check on Brightspark to see what plans he has on holding his team together. He's up to 88 villagers. He has only a very small soldier group though. Not very high military population. Phyrexx user patch has a lot of cavalry archers right now. Nightmare 4th finishes off those remaining troops from SuperVillain. He's going to go attack Turbine. Cascade reaching Castle Age. A lot of pressure coming onto the SuperVillain. Another castle being dropped by Bolt. Nightmare and Cascade and Phyrexx user patch are now all putting a lot of pressure on their opponents. Let's check on Bolt to see what he's planning on doing. He's going for some unique units. They're mainly being stored in the back space. He's creating some unique units at his allies' base in those castles. Bolt's castle goes down. SuperVillain going in to attack those rams. Conversion's taking place. Here's Brightspark may be going for the attack. Can Bolt and Brightspark play as well as the Horde and Pantheon did in the 2v4 fight that we saw? Or are they going to be just crushed? Horde Castle came in from Nightmare. A lot of troops. They're playing underneath the castle. Seems like someone triggered an attack from UnfairSteel. That's not good. That was an expensive attack right there, just to get one castle down. Nightmare 4th hits Imperial Age. As we all know, he is a heavy, heavy boomer. Cascade going for the attack onto Bright Spark, it appears. Not really focused on SuperVillain. SuperVillain did bring in the second TC, though. UnfairSteel now inside Imperial Age. Things are starting to look gruesome for Bright Spark, and oh, they have to be able to do something here if they're going to plan on a victory. Cavalier coming out for Bright Spark. He's at around 40 military population. Nightmare 4th keeping him on his toes, making sure that he can't just boom up. They have the numbers advantage in terms of players at the moment. Turbine and SuperVillain appear to be mostly dead. Siege rams coming in from Nightmare 4. Accuser patch. Now starting on getting some of those Imperial Age techs. Bolt appears to be going for the attack onto Cascade. He is inside Imperial. He does have a higher score than Bright Spark even. He is putting some pressure onto Cascade here, so it could lose him. Turbine finally resigns. Nightmare switching his focus onto Bright Spark. Phyrexx user patch is pushing Bolt back slowly here. On the other side, Nightmare 4th and UnfairSteel are slowly surrounding Brightspark. Got Paladins coming in versus Cavalier. Yeah, it's a little quiet because I don't want to be blowing out my own ears. If you guys want to turn it up, you can turn it up on your end. I believe, remember he was made by Jawa, who is still, he's the Japanese scripter who I recently brought back onto the Discord. So he only speaks Japanese though, so. He does occasionally work on Nightmare 4, but I think we have to convince him to work on it again if we want to see more updates. He's been working on the AI for around 24 years. But the last update that he released was in 2019. Yeah, he's a big boomer, so he plays Pocket. So the idea behind the team was that UnfairSteel is able to hold his own on flank, and then the Pockets, including Phyrexx user patch and UnfairSteel, would be able to overcome the other Pocket players, since Phyrexx user patch is almost on captain level. Nightmare 4th on flank is kind of a little weaker, and UnfairSteel can kind of hold his own. So he's kind of like Black Knight in that way. Yep, I agree, it's speed up time. So, in fact, I think that we can actually call this. So, we've got some dead players, and I can't see Bolt making it back. Let's go ahead and... Well, he's still at 114 pop. We can see a couple more villagers die. Nightmare 4, he can play water as well, so he was inside the Island Olympics. It was a couple years ago. So the second series that we're going to do today is for Fireball. We're trying to get everyone to play at one game, at least one set of games, before we go back and run the rest of the games. So people who have not played a game yet, which is still a lot. So next up, Shadow versus the Morgan. Okay, let's go ahead and quit this. This was a 3-0. So good job for Cascading Nightmare. Both AIs are pretty strong on the Fireball. Both. So I'm going to update the brackets here first, and then we'll go on to our second group. Cascading Nightmares versus the Megalomaniacs. So 3-0. So the Megalomaniacs will have a lot of catching up to do.